Sub and share, fucker. I'm gonna pee in your cereal. Alright, so basically, anyone who knows me personally knows that I've been hyperfixating on Generator Rex a lot, and whenever I see a Ben 10 discussion or anything regarding superheroes, I like to go, how can I make this about Generator Rex? So, a really neat, interesting idea came to me, and I wanted to try and come up with ideas for AUs since Ben 10 has a metric fuck ton of AUs. So I was going to basically use some of those AU ideas and give it a Generator Rex spin on them. Basically using the regular fan-made AUs as a template and then going to Rex's dimension to see what's happening there in conjunction with the AU. So let's go ahead and get into it, and if you like just hear me talk and rant about shit, then subscribe or something. It's not forced, but it'd be cool of you. Chakatrix. Alright, essentially, for anyone who knows me personally, y'all know I can't stand waifus. Like, I just don't get it. Pokemon for that matter either, and for some reason this next AU has both. Essentially, the Chakatrix universe is an AU where Ben's aliens aren't superheroes he can turn into, but rather they're waifus that come out of the Omnitrix and fight for him. It basically has this weird harem shit to it that I have yet to understand, and frankly don't think I want to understand it. We're gonna do a REX AU on it, so let's play around. In the Chakatrix REX AU, Rex's Vanites only affect women, but Rex is the only male Evo. So in this AU, every character who is an Evo in the show is a waifu, so a lot of gender switching. But the thing that makes Rex a little different, and the reason he's special, is because his only ability is to talk to the Manites, which is how he cures Evos. He still has to touch them, but he can't fight. Essentially, his Manites manifest into a waifu that essentially operates as a stam that talks to him and has her own personality. She kinda would remind you of like Astral from Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, only she's literally a combatant. Basically, all of the offensive powers Rex would have in the show would be manifested through her. So she's basically his Pokemon waifu and fights for him. Makes the crossover make sense, and for all you weirdos who like harem anime, this would count. Alright, the Carnatrix. So, for those who don't know what the Carnatrix is, this Ben 10 AU is essentially the Carnatrix AU is a fanverse where the Omnitrix is replaced by the Carnatrix, which is essentially this malignant version of the Omnitrix created by a twisted version of Azimuth, with the goal of inflicting universal pain, enslavement, and extinction. In this AU, the Carnatrix turns Ben into uncontrollable, monstrous, and violent aliens, leading to immense destruction in the corrupted, terrified version of Ben. So, in Carnatrix Rex, the world is essentially in a nuclear apocalypse. Evos aren't like the ones in the show because there's no nanites. People transform into Evos because of nuclear radiation, and most of them are cannibals. So, for example, Cersei in this AU would seem like normal that Rex kind of bonds with her, but then she's actually a siren who works with the pack and wants to like eat him. Breach in this AU would also look like an Onryo. So Rex is basically in an apocalyptic group of survivors who avoid Evos since they're all cannibals, and Rex is the only Evo without wanting to eat people. Rex's powers also don't manifest as cybernetics or biometrics or biomechanics or whatever the fuck. Instead, he's more like Alex Mercer, where he's fueled by radiation and his weapons come out like flesh weapons from Prototype. So, for some reason, Rex is immune to the toxins that drive people crazy when they become Evos, and the only form of defense against them is him, basically. Van Kleist is also kind of like the scummy scientist in the group and is also a good guy, but he's the guy who wants to like make a cure for the Evos to make like the world normal again. I guess if I was to get into a little bit more detail, I like didn't, but going off script, I guess I would have like Agent 6 being like a war veteran or something, and fucking if we want to go edgy and dark, then Holiday is like a prostitute, or was before the world got completely fucked up. There is no Bobo, haha, I'm sorry, the monkey's gone. Alright, so Zulatrix, for those who are unfortunately unaware, Zulatrix is the Ben 10 AU that turns the series from sci-fi into dark fantasy, So Ben in this series doesn't get his powers from an alien device from space, but rather a demonic parasite from hell. This AU basically turns all of Ben's aliens into demons. So this AU is honestly going to be the hardest to figure out, but initially it was kind of difficult for me to figure out. I didn't know what to do for Rex at this point, but I did eventually figure out something and come up with an idea. Basically, Zulatrix Rex in this AU is going to be like a supernatural investigator, and Providence are going to be the Illuminati. 6 is an enforcer for the Illuminati, and Rex and Noah are normal people. Rex finds an amulet during one of his investigations, and it basically gives him the supernatural ability to create spiritual constructs from nothing. So Rex can have his weapons and stuff, but it's not, instead of it being science, it's straight up magic. Van Kleist is a part of a cult, or the leader of a cult, trying to bring about the end of the world, and also has a similar amulet that gives him powers like Rex, and he wants to basically use the 2 amulets, so he seeks out Rex. Zulatrix is honestly one of the most interesting Ben 10 AU in my opinion. A lot of them do a lot of really stupid dumb shit, but like this one I feel like is the most interesting spin on it. So I have a lot to say about Zulatrix specifically, but like that'll probably be a whole other video maybe. You know, if you guys want that, then cool. If not, then I'll probably just not do it. Ben 10 Cryptids. So this AU isn't called that, it's just called Ben 10, I'm pretty sure. It's like an alternate what-if universe. But this AU is kind of exactly what it sounds like. It's essentially, it's also not that different from like regular Ben 10, but the main difference is that this Ben is like a teenager when he gets his first Omnitrix, I think. And all of his aliens are cryptids. So, for example, Ben has like an alien that's like the Wendigo, and another one of his aliens is like the like I think it's the Jersey Devil or something, I don't remember, but he's got like aliens that are essentially cryptids. So this one I was also having some difficulty coming up with, but for Cryptic Rex, Rex's powers are going to be based on Greek mythology, so Rex's weapons are going to be constructs based on Greek heroes. So like his smack hands would probably be a reference to like Hercules, and his sword would probably be a reference to like Ares. But his friends are gonna also, some of them are gonna be based off of like other like gods. So like Bobo Haha, this universe would be based off of Sun Wukong, and Agent 6 would be like the Norse god of war Tyr. Providence also kind of doesn't exist in this AU. It's just a council of gods from different myths, and they all just kind of converge and chill and hang out and do whatever. And Van Kleist, I guess since we're going with the whole god theme, Van Kleist is obviously Loki. Like, there's no doubt about that. Obviously, Van Kleist is Loki. So those were some of my picks for the Generator Rex AUs. Hopefully you found some of these interesting. And if someone wants to draw some of these, that'd be rad. Sub and shit, I don't know.